to Crimson Butterfly.
Fatal Frame 2 is a game I was highly anticipated to try out. After playing the first game and seeing a lot of reviews, people's opinion, and a lot of people in general just saying it's a great horror game. Especially the first game, it made me interested in the franchise. Even though the first game was kind of brutal in certain parts of the game, like the third night, I had actually a great time playing it. Hell, maybe sooner or later I'll go back to it, but right now we're talking about Crimson Butterfly. The version you're seeing on screen right now is the PS2 version. I know they released one on Xbox and there was technically a remake one on the Wii, but I wanted to play the original, you know, how it all started. I'm kinda sad this game didn't get ported to death just like Resident Evil 4, because it's kinda hard to find to play, you know. Before I start going on details about Crimson Butterfly, I just wanted to show you that a lot of people didn't finish Fatal Frame 1 apparently. It was too scary for them. We built different. Yeah, we ain't the same. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's begin.
I used to play here all the time.
While Crimson Butterfly is the second game in the series, it doesn't star Miku and Mafuyu this time. This time we got two twins, Mayu and Miyu. For being twins, they have some differences though. One hairbang is kinda slightly to the left or something like that, and the other one is completely full. And Mayu has like a broken leg, because when she was a kid and playing in the forest with Miyu, she had a great fall. Humpy Dumpy style, if you get what I mean. Because of the accident, Miyu feels quite guilty and promised her to never leave her side. But Mayu doesn't give a shit. She goes and chases after a butterfly. And for someone who's crippled, she runs faster than Usain Bolt. It's kind of amazing. I gotta say, Mayu walking off on her own happens quite often in this game. It's pretty hilarious, but I'll talk about it later. I want to talk about how there is sun in this cutscene for once. Like the first game, I don't think there was 1 inch of drop of light. This game, it shows you, it baits you with it. Until it becomes fucking dark. I gotta say, these games make me miss the baby sun in Teletubbies. Once Miyu catches up with her sister, they both find themselves near a village. A deserted village. The village gives off a heebie-jeebie vibes, but they decide to go in regardless, instead of going home. It's like they're attracted to the village. Like butterfly being attracted to nectar in a flower. But instead of a flower, it's a village full of boogeymans that keep invading your personal space. Not even 2 minutes in the village, you start to see paranormal stuff and paranormal ASMR if you're into that shit. But this is where I'm gonna start to talk about spoiler stuff, so there'll be a number on the screen for you to skip. So yeah, you've been warned. Also, go play the damn game, you fucking puss. After entering the first building they see, the twins will find notes on the ground about a woman who came to this village to search for her boyfriend that suddenly disappeared. She couldn't get out of the village and the place was affecting her dreams too. She was getting nightmare about a girl in a bloody kimono and a young twin that kept asking, begging not to be killed. In the end, she found her boyfriend, and when they were trying to find a way to leave the village, her boyfriend got killed and came back and choked her to death. Ah, true love. Choking her, giving her what she wanted. I suppose, kinda. Maybe not. Maybe not so much. She's kinda feels salty about it, so she attacks the twins. But now, Miyu has found the camera of Obscura and she can now defend herself. The picture was so nutty, you fainted and awoken with Mayu gone. Hell, you can catch her leaving the house, but she doesn't really give you shit that she got caught.
I'm sorry. I have to go.
Sometimes you'll get vision of where Mayu is heading so you can hunt her down. The butterflies and the visions leads you to a house where she's supposed to be. But once you reach the house, not only that you get another damn vision, you see a girl in a bloody kimono just laughing with mountains of bodies around her, which you really hope you don't meet eventually. But instead of facing her, you face a powerful ghost named the Kusabi, and you can't fight it or hurt it in any way possible, so you just leave the room and that's the end of it. It doesn't even chase you. It's kind of anticlimactic, but Finally reunite with Mayu, but she's different. She's kind of creepy right now.
So you ran away. But everyone died. But everyone died.
Mayu!
Regardless of her being possessed or not, you learn a lot of what happened in this village. There's a lot of ritual that's been performed here. Just like the first game, they have a ritual to close the Hell Gate or whatever. I don't know why these people keep building villages or houses near Hell Gate. I guess it spices things on their lives. It gives them a bit of adrenaline that their village can get wiped out at any minute. It's like the construction workers came here and like, shit, there's a Hell Gate here. We gotta move. And Bob the Builder is looking at us, came here like, did I say we're leaving? But there's a Hell Gate.
Did I fucking stop?
Off topic, but it's just funny how this happened a second time. Regardless, the ritual is called the Crimson Sacrifice Ritual. It consists of having two twins, and you need to have the younger twin strangle the older. You see in real life how we consider the firstborn to be the older brother or sister, but these villagers believe that the one that came out last is the older one, that he has more power, so he let his younger sibling come out first. They need to do this every 10 years to prevent the village to become a ghost village pretty much. Luckily, these villagers were a little bit big-brained compared to the ones in the first game. They have a ritual in case the twin ritual fails, which is to take an outsider and sacrifice them instead to borrow some time. Also, if the twins like each other too much, it will fail the ritual. If the twin succeeds on killing his brother or sister, they will sometimes gain white hair, and their neck will become red like a crimson butterfly. They also believe the twin killing the other, they will become one again, and the twin would become the leader or priest of the village. With all these information in hand, you really need to get out of this village fast. But Mayu got trapped inside a room and you need to find the key. And she becomes really clingy this time around. And it also feels like she's using that promise to guilt trip Miyu into staying with her. It really kinda made me feel bad for Miyu. Especially doesn't help the fact that she started speaking demon when you're about to leave, throwing shades at you. But you really need to get her out because, possessed or not, she is your twin sister.
Dear sister, are you leaving me again?
As you explore the village to find the key, you learn about two outsiders who came to this village, a folklorist and his apprentice. The folklorist came to the village out of curiosity because of the occult stuff, but the apprentice came to help two twins who were about to be sacrificed in the ritual. He needed to save Ye and Sei. He was contacted by his best friend in the village who had a twin who he killed and gained white hair. But he kinda felt regret and he also loved them too much, so the ritual failed. Knowing that the villagers would use one of them as a sacrifice to gain some time for the hellish door to not open, he hurried the apprentice to leave the village with the two twins. Sadly, the folklorist was too curious and stayed in the village a little bit too long, so they used them as a sacrifice. While the twins were escaping the village, Sei wanted to do the ritual so badly she didn't purpose to fall down the cliff, thinking her sister would come back for her. Nope, her sister ditched her ass. And the villagers with no other choice and no time left, they had to sacrifice her alone, which resulted the ritual in a failure, wiping the village out of the map. The hellish abyss brought the soul of Sei and the folklorist, and they pretty much decimated the whole village. After escaping the village, Ye and the apprentice married each other and had a family, and their daughter performed the demon tag ritual in the first game in the Himuro Mansion. It shows you the connection this game has with the first game, which is pretty damn great. They are also the ancestors of the protagonists of the first game too, which is pretty great. But when you come back with the key to save your sister, guess what?
She's not fucking there.
How the hell do you get out of a room that's locked from the other side? How the hell do you get out of a room with a broken leg? What Houdini bitch is this? What is this voodoo? Do I have to break the other fucking leg? As you explore the village to find Mayu, you go into another house that had another twin dilemma. Story I think is my favorite story in general in Fatal Frame. We got two twins who are really pretty damn young, like 9 or 8, that had to perform the ritual. The village was in poor condition at the time, and they had to do the ritual pretty fast. So Akane had to strangle her sister Azami. The ritual was a success, but Akane became pretty depressed. Her father, trying to make up for her, made a doll that looks exactly like Asami. She became quite attached to it and started talking to people again and became undepressed. He felt like a good father for once, even though he's a piece of shit. So when he fell asleep, he had a vision of Asumi. Asami warned him that the doll would become possessed. So when he woke up and saw the darkness around the doll, he knew he had to get rid of it. The doll warned Akane that his father will get rid of him, So she hid the doll and killed her father. Sadly, even though he was a shitty father, he was right because the doll took her soul. You're gonna face the doll and Akane often in this house while you're searching for Mayu, and they're gonna say a phrase that they say repeatedly. Why do we kill? That shit is stuck in my head for days right now. Not gonna lie, that's pretty much torture. I feel like I'm gonna become psychotic because of hearing that shit over and over. As you continue, you encounter Sei, aka the Bloody Kimino girl. And as you can see, she's completely bonkers. You gotta run because the camera of Obscura for some reason cannot affect her. And that's kinda crazy because your only weapon to defend yourself against the paranormal is useless against her. Scared shitless, she drops the camera, but hey, no time to get that shit back. She'll chase after you into some rooms, and there'll be one room where she'll stay behind the door and wait for you to open it. And I gotta say, it's pretty fucking terrifying since the camera perspective focuses on the door, and from the start of the game you kept opening the door, nothing happens, there's no ghosts, until she did it. So she gets credit for that. After you lose her, you'll find Mayu stuck in a room and you'll need to find a key to get her out, and she better stay inside this time and not leave suddenly, you know, like last time. After obtaining the key and you come back, guess what? Mayu's gone. What a damn surprise. It's like having a baby in those baby cribbles or whatever, those jail beds, and when you come back you see the baby on the fucking roof threatening to kill itself. To add salt into injury, now Sei sees you in that room, and unless you can pull a magic trick out of your ass, you're not getting out of that room. There is no trap doors, there's only one door to get out and to get in. Looks like you're fucked. But guess what? It's Mayu. It's a bit weird, but it's still better than getting torn to shred by Sei. Now it's time to leave the village.
The ritual. It's beginning. Hurry! We need to get to the old tree.
With the ritual starting, you really need to get out of here with Mayu, but the villagers stop you in your tracks, and they capture her. You have a choice between leaving Mayu in this village and escaping alone, but that'll give you the game over screen, which is a bad ending. You need to go and save her. Even though you both separated like maybe 6 times throughout this journey, you need to keep your promise. So Miu do what she does best. Fights the villagers, fights the fucking priest, she fights the headmaster of the whole damn thing who makes the rituals, and the Kusabi, the folklorists who got killed. With no one left to stop her, she reaches the abyss where the underworld is to save her sister, with the crimson butterflies guiding her path.
I kept waiting. In a dark, dark place. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
We were born together. But we have to live and die separately.
You promised Mayu that you would keep your promise, but there is only one way to truly keep it, by killing your sister. Mayu's injury wasn't a coincidence. Miu's guilt wasn't a coincidence. Being attracted to the village wasn't a coincidence. It was fate. Maybe the same guilt Ye must have felt before abandoning her sister Sei. Sei was guiding Mayu the same way Ye was guiding Miu.
Kill me.
I'm not gonna lie, I expected Miyu to get killed by her or them escaping together. But this ending is quite damn sad, and I really appreciate it. It's way better than the first game. A lot better by a mile.
Didn't we always promise each other? Together, forever.
While the combat is not too different from the first game, they do change a few things to keep it fresh for veterans. Excuse me if I'm misremembering, but I remember in the first game I'd have to hold my camera on them and wait for it to finish charging to attack them to get the most damage. But in the second game, you need to get really close and personal with them, like if it was a shotgun, and wait until they attack to get the most amount of damage. What I really like with this game is that if you get a fatal frame, attack an enemy right before he attacks you, you can combo the living shit out of him. And it gives you a shit ton of space too, since they fly away, giving you enough space to adjust yourself for the next shot. I feel like a photographer comboing the shit out of people in the streets with my camera. Yeah, fatal frame baby! That was a nutty combo, that frame perfect. I don't give a shit, you know what I mean. Regardless, the thing that makes this game pop off is the abilities you can gain. Just like the first game, the more damage you do to the enemy, the more points you get. And with these points, you can upgrade your camera. But to upgrade your camera, you need to find spirit orbs like the first game. And with the spirit orbs, you get like a slot to upgrade. If you get a second slot, you can upgrade it even more. With your abilities, you can switch between slow, stun, or blast. I only use slow on my run because, well, you need to find spirit orbs. And I only had it slow fully upgraded, so I can't tell you how good the other ones are. Near the end of my run, my camera was a beast. I'm pretty sure I can beat Goku, One Punch Man, and Thanos, not gonna lie. And I had this ability that if a ghost would grab me, I would be able to counter him and take no damage. I gotta say, with all these upgrades, I feel so damn strong. And it feels like I'm not playing a horror game anymore. Especially when you find 30 fucking healing items. Look, I know I complained a lot about the enemies and the resources you had in the first game, but there's a difference to make it crazy easy like this. The first game was scarce, so it was just a tiny bit too hard. They just needed to put more healing items, a bit more. This one, they give you just too much. I needed a balance like that. Look, if I had this much healing items, you would think the enemies would be a lot worse than the first game, but they're actually not half bad. They actually nerfed it. The first game, these enemies would dash you non-stop and they would combo the shit out of you. This time, it's the other way around now. They touch you, you get some invincibility frames here and there, which is good, but like, it's not brutal like the first game, and for some reason, I kinda miss it. You unlock hard mode when you finish normal mode, so maybe it'll satisfy me when I'll play this game another time. Also, the radio is back this time around, but even though the dub got better, they decided to play some air rape music in the radio too. So you can't really understand what they're saying, and it sounds like they're getting heads. Let me show you some examples.
Why do you kill?
No, fuck off. You can compare them to a Discord call. The first game sounded like this. I hope you get this, ghost. Demon, give me a sign. Jennifer! You understand them, even though it sounds weird. You get the point, but now it just sounds like air rape. Okay, I hope this demon can hear me. This radio is messed up. Hello? Like, I already get my daily dose of air rape from Twitter and my friends. I don't need it to have it in Fatal Frame 2. While the radio is there to show you how they felt before they died, I feel like they didn't use it properly. Like, I wish there was a scene where you use the radio and it would say, behind you, or something like that to scare you. It felt really like a missed opportunity, really. Honestly, while the story and gameplay is a lot more better than the first game, I feel like the scare factor is lacking in the second game. Even though everywhere keeps saying this is the best game, it's the scariest game of all time, I don't know, maybe it's just me. The only thing that actually scared me was the door scene and this what you're about to see. Usually the camera detects ghosts, regardless of anything. So I think it spawned at the same time I aimed my camera, which is truly terrifying, honestly. In all honesty, if I had to choose one of these games to start with, if I would recommend it to a friend who never touched the franchise, I would recommend Fatal Frame 2. When it comes to story and gameplay, I feel like the second game overshadows their first game by a mile. But when it comes to enemies and atmosphere, that's where the first one takes the cake, in my opinion. I suppose the creators did that because of the people who never finished their first Fatal Frame, which I know, I understand, but maybe don't turn it that much. So it goes like this: you want a harder game, play Fatal Frame 1. If you're new and you don't think you'll be that good, you know, start with Fatal Frame 2. They're both solid games. I recommend you both for them. Play the whole series, honestly. But yeah, I think we're done. The last video I posted was utterly garbage and I really felt bad, so here's a good one. Now that it might be boring because I talked a lot and now it's 22 minutes long. Anyways, you can never win. But once I actually felt proud for myself, so it's a W. Alright, peace. Next one is gonna be the third game and I'm actually quite excited.